Good evening. You're watching the main news on HKIBC. I'm Chloe Feng. Here's a look at tonight's top stories. The Hong Kong men's team does the city proud by lifting the shield in the rugby sevens. There is double happiness for New Zealand as their men and women win the Hong Kong sevens. And SAR doctors and medical students in Britain express a wish to return home to help ease a manpower shortage. In the Hong Kong sevens, the Hong Kong men's team walked away with their heads held high after winning the Shield, their first silverware in 13 years. The SAR had lost all 3 group matches, but pride was restored after they defeated Kenya and then Canada to finish 13th in the 16-team tournament. HKIBC reports.
Hong Kong faced Canada to decide their final standing in the tournament. The local side opened the scoring to take an early lead. Liam Herbert enjoyed every single stride as he went through the pillars to put the SAR 12 points ahead. After the break, Max Denmark's solo cruise from the flank gave the hosts another 5 points. Canada made it to the scoreboard after Matt Oworu crossed over, but Hong Kong still had a 10-point advantage. The Canadians never managed to make a comeback and the hosts won 17-7 to finish 13th overall. Earlier, Hong Kong took on Kenya in a 13th place semi-final. Seb Bryan, who has been instrumental throughout the tournament, did not disappoint and wriggled his way past the try line. Alvin Otieno went head-on with 3 Hong Kong defenders before coming to a sliding stop beyond the try line. Bryan was once again in the right place at the right time to give Hong Kong the lead. Russell Webb kicked the ball and went through the sticks for the touchdown as the local side extended their lead to 12 points. Kenya pulled one back in added time, but Hong Kong held on for the 19-10 victory. Sachin Katwi, HKIBC.
I think Hong Kong team today performs very well, and then we won 2 games and then we won the silver final. So I'm proud of them because they have an outstanding performance. So I hope they keep it going and then build to the next Singapore Sevens.
Antipodium rivals New Zealand and Australia clashed in the Women's Cup final. And it was the Kiwis who ended the game with the biggest smiles. HKIBC again.
It was not the most surprising of matchups when the Kiwi women took on their Australian counterparts in the final for a first title in Hong Kong. Bien Terita stormed through for the Australians after a couple of minutes. Australia were given a double penalty for obstructing a try with a defender sin binned. Stacey Walker did not stay quiet for long and slid through with a smile to take New Zealand ahead 14-7. Despite being down to 6 women, skipper Charlotte Caslick inspired the Australians to make it 12-14 at halftime. A scrum near the try line left the field wide open and the Kiwis took advantage to score after the break. The tries kept coming and this time it was Australia who hit back with Sari Apaki who made it a 4-point game. But Walker sealed it with 30 seconds left as she crossed one last time for a classic 26-17 victory to New Zealand. Sachin Katwi, HKIBC.
The curtains have come down in this year's Sevens, the last to be held in the iconic Hong Kong Stadium. But for 26,000 fans who turned up at the Hong Kong Stadium, the fun and games continued until the final whistle. Janice Low reports.
The fans who packed the Hong Kong stadium today were determined to make the most out of the third and final day of the city's biggest open-air party. There was great excitement this year as all COVID measures were lifted. The international tournament attached fans from all corners of the globe, including Fiji.
I've been to about 8 tournaments around the world, countries. Nothing beats Hong Kong. You can't take the sevens out of Hong Kong. Hong Kong, this is the king of sevens, Hong Kong. No other place in the world can beat Hong Kong. Nowhere. I'll come again next year. As long as I can walk, I'll come.
All of us, we came here just to support our team and rally behind them. It hasn't been easy at home, so we're here to make sure that we can give something back to the people of Fiji. Go Fiji, go!
As usual, fans dressed up for the occasion, with some imitating their favorite TV characters.
We're having a great day, great tournament. Hong Kong just played really, really well. Amazing. Go Hong Kong, go Teletubbies! Woohoo!
It was extra special for home fans today as Hong Kong's men won their first match. The organizers were satisfied with the turnout.
We're very happy. Our target before the event was to try and sell 30,000 tickets. So we sold more than we kind of anticipated. 32 was good. The corporate support has been fantastic. We sold more than 90% of the corporate boxes. Obviously, the weather has been a little bit unkind to us. But yeah, no, it's been a great atmosphere, great crowds.
Robbie added that there was a new dimension to this year's tournament, as for the first time, the men's and women's competitions were held under the same roof. Janice Low, HKIBC.
There was a surprise in the men's final of the Hong Kong Sevens as New Zealand defeated fan favourites Fiji. Sachin Kadvi reports.
After the women claimed victory, the men were looking to make it a Kiwi double. Standing in their way were the flying Fijians, who were looking for a record 20th title in Hong Kong. The men matched the women to begin with and put New Zealand ahead in the first minute. Fiji was stunned again as the Kiwis powered through, making it 12-0. Leroy Carter touched a ball which was running wild, and New Zealand scored their third to make it 19-0. Fiji had their moment and got on the board almost at halftime. But with a minute of injury time to go, the All Blacks made it 24-7 at the break. Fiji started the second half with a try, narrowing down the huge deficit. It was now or never, but that was a bit too late as the Kiwis sealed a 24-17 victory. Sachin Kadvi, HKIBC.
And in the day's other news, dozens of Hong Kong doctors and medical students in Britain have expressed an interest in returning to the SAR to work and develop a career. After hosting a 2-day recruitment event in the British capital, a hospital authority team will continue the recruiting drive by visiting 3 leading medical institutes, including University College London.
Hospital Authority Chief Executive Tony Koh headed a team that traveled to Britain to persuade Hong Kong doctors and medical students to return to the city to help ease a manpower shortage. About 200 people attended the recruitment event in London, either in person or online.
In a nutshell, I would say in the last few years, because of the changes in the requirement and all the things, it's much more flexible nowadays and more choices.
Qualified doctors from overseas will be allowed to work in Hong Kong without passing a licensing exam. Jobs were offered on-site, but there will be interviews in Hong Kong later. Koh said he hopes to hire as many qualified people as possible, but did not set a target. Some who expressed interest said they hope to contribute to Hong Kong. This person said many students in Britain have been considering whether to return to Hong Kong after graduation.
其實就算英國醫生嘅人工咧，喺呢個係 inflation 嘅。
Another said high inflation in Britain and the SAR's low taxes could attract some UK-trained doctors to return home.
所以呢個我哋唔擔心。
Ko dismissed concerns about quality, saying the doctors who come to Hong Kong will be given local training. He said the city offers valuable clinical experience and competitive salaries, adding that the recruitment drive could be extended to other places, including Australia and Singapore. 2 people were injured when a slab of concrete fell from a warehouse in Kwai Chung. Dashcam footage captured the moment when the concrete fell and shattered into pieces at around 10:30 a.m. The slab, measuring 2 meters by 3 meters, peeled off from the 10th floor of the building's outer wall. 2 people suffered feet and waist injuries and were sent to hospital. Churches held processions today to mark Palm Sunday, but participants had to follow police requirements, such as not wearing face masks. Security Chief Chris Chang defended the measures, saying they were common for large-scale events. Janice Low reports.
St. John's Cathedral in Central observed Palm Sunday with a procession. It was one of 10 events today that were approved by police. The organizer emphasized that it was not a demonstration, but a religious procession, which the Anglican Cathedral stages every Palm Sunday. Led by celebrants, about 300 parishioners sang hymns as they walked around the cathedral. Most held palms and removed facial coverings during the procession, as mandated by the police letter of no objection. A Palm Sunday procession with 400 participants also took place at St. John the Baptist Church in Kwun Tong. Some members of the Catholic Church wore tags to identify themselves as marshals, whose job was to maintain order. In Wan Chai, about 250 Catholics took part in Palm Sunday activities, which began yesterday. They were divided into groups of 50. Participants had to wear red ribbons on their arms, and the marshals wore identification tags. Those who wished to keep their face covering on were told to stand at the back of the queue to avoid breaching the anti-mask law. Meeting the press this afternoon, Security Chief Chris Tang said it is common for participants to wear identification tags at large-scale events. He said the requirement isn't discriminatory and condemned those who tried to cause hatred against the government by labeling the identification tags as dog leashes. Janice Low, HKIBC.
China and Japan have held talks aimed at improving their cool relationship. Yoshimasa Hayashi, who's the first Japanese foreign minister to visit Beijing in 3 years, met his Chinese counterpart Qin Gang. Qin said China is ready to enhance communication and exchanges and tackle difficulties in a bid to boost ties. Hayashi said the 2 sides agreed to continue talks on national security and ensure peace and stability in the Taiwan Strait. Overseas, the death toll in the tornadoes that ripped through the southern and midwestern United States have climbed to at least 26 as survivors try to rebuild their communities.
Right now for me is just to clean up what I can and then get this cleared and then try to see who else I can help and what I can do to help, and then see about the school and what we can do to get that back in order.
The town of Wayne in the state of Arkansas was among the hardest hit. Residents began the mammoth task of clearing fallen trees and debris. Across several states, homes were destroyed and thousands of households suffered power cuts. At least 60 tornadoes hit the region in the past 2 days, and weather forecasters say the danger isn't yet over. On to the weather now. Mainly cloudy tomorrow with low visibility in some areas. The temperature will be between 20 and 23 degrees, staying cloudy in the first half of the week. And now let's take a look at the weather around the world. And that's our main news for Sunday night. Join us for more news at 11. I'm Chloe Feng. Good night.